So my voice is audible.
A little bit slow audible. Uh, Please increase voice.
So all of you open this GitHub link. I just posted in the chat box, and I will share in my screen. Is it visible my screen?
Yeah, visible.
Yes, thank you, sir. Remaining guys, is it visible? Good, right. So today our topic is Android database. So every application anywhere in the desktop application or mobile application is common for storing the data. Okay, so today we'll discuss about the Android database, and we'll see now introduction part of that. Okay, so in Android we have many storage possibilities. Okay, apart that we'll divide two things like so Android database. So simply I'm dividing into two parts. Either it is a internal database and external database. Internal database, and the second one is external database. External database or external DB. Okay, so from this uh, so what is the internal database? So it in the internal database, in the sense we will store the data internally. Okay, we will store the data internally without any involvement of web, like other external devices. Okay, we store data in internally. So just like as the internal database is again have some parts like shared preferences, and SQLite DB, also there room DB. Okay, and so on. So this is the a common internal storage database mechanism. Have there other external databases? So what are the external database types? So here have the Firebase. So 000 web host. Also there MySQL. MySQL have their both internal and external. Okay, server side also is there MySQL, and so on. Okay, so these are the external databases. So from these databases, today we will discuss about this room database. Okay, this room database, and what is the difference between this shared preferences, SQLite DB, and room DB? Okay, so here I gave the document clearly. Just open this, and I would explain here. Okay, so did you open this document? Just give me the confirmation. Have you accessed this document? Good, right. So then, so database percentage is one of the basic requirement of most applications. So already we know this is the fundamental a part for storing data in our application. So which type of data we will store? We will store the data type like a string type, so text type, and some image types. So this data will be stored. So we will do some CURD operations. So what is the CURD operation? Okay. So what are the CURD operations? So which means, so we can create the data, we can update data, and we can retrieve the data. Also, we can delete the data. So this is the basic operations for doing the data. So create, update, retrieve, and delete. Okay, these are the basic fundamentals. While interacting with the data, we'll do these operations. Okay, so through the escalate and shared preferences is common. Okay, also RoomDB, but RoomDB is the latest updated one. Okay, from MVVM architecture, from architecture MVVM, introduce this room database. Okay, I will tell you. So what the advanced features on RoomDB? Before I need to explain to you the state preferences and SQLite DB. Okay, right. So SQLite. So SQLite is an open source library, which means it means of persisting data for application Android. Okay, we will store the data through this SQLite. Have there some drawbacks in the SQLite database? Have some drawbacks. So what are the drawbacks? So it will requires the lot of bipolate code. So bipolate code means repeated code. So if you do the insertion syntax, same syntax will repeat the updation. Same syntax will repeat the deletion and also retrieving. So that bipolate code will be need to do in the SQLite. So how can we overcome these drawbacks? If you search the anywhere in the web in the Google, so it will give some solutions. Okay, so the solutions means that NoSQL database. I mean, instead of replacing the NoSQL DB, Realme, sorry, RealMDB and Green DAO, also their room. Okay, so if you want to overcome these drawbacks, we will replace this database. Okay, so from this, I will tell you this room database. Okay, right. So here have um, some more information is there. Once you may read out that. Okay, so now coming to the first one, shared preferences. These shared preferences. The shared preferences means we will store the data internally, just like as a key pair of value. Okay, key value pairs. We store the data. So based on key and value pair, it will be stored data very limited of data. I mean like small data. Okay, we store the data very smaller data like key and value pairs. Okay, so here we'll store data types only integer, long, string, and set of strings. Okay, only that. So we can't store the any images, and we can't store the any large amount of data. So why? Because it is very small. So where we will use this state preferences database? Okay, daily our applications, while login time we will use this state preferences. While giving the preferences, like in the settings have there some preferences like brightness preference or volume preference, vibration preference, also tone preferences. So based on preference it will be work, it will be add. Okay, right. So this is the shade preferences. Now coming to the escalate, already till now here some of the drawbacks is there in the SQLite DB. In the SQLite DB have there some drawbacks. So here have some syntactical errors and some no compilation time error detection. So it will take more time consuming. Okay, while executing the syntax, if you use the multiple tables and the number of tables, it will be uh, compiling time take more time. Okay, while compilation takes more time. So that's the drawbacks. Okay, so right in the next one, in the next one on internal storage and external storage mechanisms there. For external storage mechanisms, we will store the data to file formats like Excel sheets, comma separated values. Okay, some other places we can store the data on SD cards. So this is the external storage mechanisms. Uh, so here have some other features like SQL versus no SQL information is there. So once read out that. So now coming to room database. Now coming to room database, the room library act as an abstract layer for underlying SQL database. Okay. So previously we discussed right the room database is advanced for SQLite. Okay, it is act as like an abstract layer for underlying SQLite database. It is working the based on SQLite database. So, but what is the difference? Okay, thus room annotations are used. Okay, here the room database will use the annotations. So, what is my annotation? So, annotation means whatever may be at the rate address of whatever entity, whatever DAO class, whatever database. So, the thing will annotate. Will do the annotating. Okay, right. So, to do database and entities where entities are POSO classes representing a table structure. Okay, in the room database have there tables. The tables represent the POSO classes. Okay, the table contains the POSO classes. And to specify the operations for retrieval, updation, deletion, we can do this through the room database. So we'll do the all cloud operations. And also some of the constraints is there like a forging key and primary key. Some of the keys is there. Okay, so the major advantage of room database is it will support for live data. It will support for live data. So what is here live data? The live data in the sense we will observe the data, whatever maybe changes happen in lively, the data will add add to UI. Okay, so the best example in the real world is live, like YouTube live. So if you watch a live streaming, so whatever will be happening so for present situation, that will be telecasting live. So but normal videos will represent the old, I mean previous. Okay, so live data in the sense it will be observed, whatever will be lively happen, that will be observed. Okay, right. So room database will support the live data. Here there are three major components in the room database. Okay, I'm not focusing any other things. I'm focusing on only room database. Okay, right. So there are three major components is there in the room database. So what is that? So here how there, the first one is entity. The first major component is entity, and the second one is the DAO class. First one is the entity, and the second one is the DAO class. So what is the third one? The third one is the database. Okay, these are the three major components in the room database. So now coming to first component. So the first component is entity. So what is in my entity? Okay, so here entities are POSO classes. It will represent the table structure. Okay, so entity a class. So entity is a class. So it is annotated with the address entity. It is annotated with the address entity. So this annotation will map to table in the database. Suppose to we will give the address entity, it will equal to table name. It will equal to table name. Okay, so that is called the entity, and every entity is persisted in its own table, and every table field in class represents the column name. So here have the table. So table have the some columns and rows. Okay, some columns in column names we can represent like so for suppose to we'll take the student name, student roll number, student mobile number, student email ID. So that all are the attributes. Okay, like just like as a column names. So entity will represent the a table name, and that entity will should call the with the help of the at the rate this annotation. Okay, right. So table name attribute is used to define the name of the table. Right. Okay, table name attribute is used to define the name of the table. So we can define the table name with the help of entity. And also every entity class must should have at least one primary key field. So why we will use the primary key? Can anyone please tell me? So why we will use the primary key? So any idea? Good. So it will eliminate the duplicates. It will be eliminate the duplicates. It will be use the unique values. For suppose to we'll take the roll number. Roll number have their unique number. So there is no duplicate roll number have of individual students. Okay, like group of the students. So we don't have the duplicate roll numbers. So roll number should be unique. Okay, so that base for giving the any field or any table attributes, we can identify the uniquely. Okay, with the help of the upgrade primary key. Okay, right. So fields in the entity class can annotate with the upgrade column info. So after the, I mean, without primary key, we can call the column info. Instead of the column info, we will represent the name of the column. For suppose to name or roll number or mail ID, mobile number. So whatever may be. Okay, that we can represent with the help of upgrade column info. So this is the entity component. Okay. So now coming to data access object. The full form of DAO is data access object, the second component of room database. Okay, so here we'll do the some functions like for inserting query, retrieving query, and delete query, update query. Okay, with the help of the annotation. With the help of annotation, we will do these operations functions. Okay, all code operations functions we will do here. So what the DO class? This DO class is the data access object. So it is the interface between our entity class and database. It will be act as a interface between entity class and DAO class. Okay. So passing data between entity and database will be have their intermediate. Okay. Right. In the third one, database. So this is the another major component of our room database. So database container for tables. So entity will contain only one table. So but database contains group of tables. Okay, database will contain the group of tables. So it is an abstract class. So what is generally what is the abstract class? So what is the sense of abstract class? So abstract class means right. So the abstract class means it is centralized class. Okay. So here have their one home. Okay, like one centralized class. Here have their group of tables. Okay, it will contain the group of tables as well as um, the things. Whatever be we done the DAO operations, all those things we will combine here. Okay, so also their version control. which database we are using. I mean version, which one version, version 1, version 2, version 3. So which version we are using, that information will be have there in the database. And the entities. Entities means our classes, like entity classes. Okay, is used to define list of the entities per database. Okay, so these are the three major components. Any doubts is there in this part? So have we clear? Any doubts is there about these three major components? So if you have doubts, just let me know. So in the next step, we will see the architecture of the room database. So thank you. There is no response from your end. Then I'm continuing. So if you scroll down these, have there one architecture. Okay. So a room database, data access object, and entity. So these all are the three major components of our room database. So if you see the entity class, we can see the data access object, we can see the room database. Okay. So this entity and room database will uh, some of the controls taken. I don't know who are doing this. I don't know what happened here. Okay, I will. What happened here? I don't know. So so guys, tell me if you have any doubts till this part. Yeah, Savani, now it is okay. My voice. Good, Bhavani. Right. Good. So this is the our room database architecture. Sir, it is recording, sir.
Yes, it's recordings.
Yeah. Confirmation. Okay. So I will show you one more architecture. Right. Where it is. Here, the main architecture is not displaying here. I will call here. What will happen? I will open this entity on the tab. When we click on the Android X room overview, it will be rendered the official website. Oh, there is no architecture. Just a minute. Yes. So just open the room database in Android. It will be navigate the developer.android.com, the official website. You can click on the second link, room database. Just scroll down the. Okay, there is no picture here. Just a minute. I will go to back and I will open to the code lab. Okay, room database code lab. Yes. So this is the architecture. I mean, with recommended architecture components. Okay. So once you open this link, I'll share this link in the chat box. So once you observe this architecture, here have their UI controller. The first thing, UI controller. We can do the designing in the activity or fragment. In the second thing, we can call the view model. Okay, this view model coming from Android Jetpack components. Okay, in the 2017 they introduced the, I mean Google will introduce the Android Jetpack components. So from that view model is there. Okay, so view model, live data. So and also repository is there. This repository will communicate through the database and our view model. It will be establish the communication between the view model and our room database. Okay, right. So then room database. So in the room database, have there three major components. So entity class, DO class, and database. These are the three major components. It will be manages the all local data. So like a split data source. Okay, so we can do here now without view model and without repository. Okay, we will do just now one UI controller with room database without view model and repository. So tomorrow, like in the next session, we will do the view model and repository. Okay, so it will be knows the difference between the view model and repository. So today we will do the UI controller and room database. So without view model and repository. By next session, we will do the with live data, repository, and room database. Okay, it is better for understanding the room database. Okay, right. So all of you open the Android Studio, then make a new Android Studio project. So I'm creating new Android Studio project, and I'm choosing the empty activity. I'm clicking the next. Okay, so the application name is my room DB. Okay, I'm selecting the API level 16. That is the Jelly Bean. Okay, just click on the finish button. See, this is a lengthy project, so you can concentrate on this and follow the step by step. So it is creating, just wait for that. So meanwhile, we will discuss about the our application requirement. Okay. So this is our screen with the toolbar. In this toolbar, have there the app name is My Room Database, My Room DB, and I need to take the two edit text, one for name, name, another for enter the ID. Okay. So ID in a sense roll number or anything. I need to take only two only attributes like two edit text and four buttons. So not four buttons. I need to take only two buttons. One for save, another for retrieve. So this is the buttons save, another for. So don't concentrate on UI part. Just concentrate on the functionality. Okay. And also you take the recycler view. Okay. So in this environment, you may choose the one recycler view. So this is the application requirement. So these two are edit text. Okay. So these two are buttons. Already you know very well these things because we're practicing very well. Button, button. This is the recycler. Okay. So have we clear this designing part? Good. Also give me the confirmation your project is created or not. Okay. So just we'll wait 2 minutes. So if you done the creation of this project, you can design these things. So did you done the data binding concept? Right. 1 more minute. See, after this, after save retrieve completion, then we'll do the one more screen. Okay, we will do the one more screen. In that screen, we will take same this format for update and delete. Okay. right? So now open the activity underscore main.xml file, open the split part, open the split part. So defaultly we have the constraint layout. Okay, I'm just selecting that constraint layout and I'm replacing the linear layout. Why? Because it is very convenient for us. Okay, so we will just change the constraint layout to linear layout, and I'm taking here the orientation is vertical. Why? Because our components all are in the vertical format. Okay, that's why I'm taking here the orientation is vertical. Orientation vertical, and I don't need to this text view, the default text view. I'm simply deleting that text view. Okay, so here how the first step is, we done the changing constraint layout to linear layout and added the orientation is vertical. And the next thing, we done the removing of text view. Okay, right. So in the next step, what we need to design here, we need to design the edit text for name. The second thing, we need to design for the ID for another edit text. Okay, I'm just taking the edit text. So the width is match parent and height is wrap content. So if you do match parent wrap content, it will come design just like this. And I'm closing the edit text, internal closing by using, and I'm adding the ID. So this ID is et underscore, this ID is et underscore name. So why getting this edit? Okay, uh, et underscore name for this edit text ID. And I need to add the one hint. It is just like as a similar to placeholder. Okay, enter the name. Okay, name of the student, whatever it is. Okay, enter the name. So and also I need to add the margin. So what is the uses of the margin? If we give the margin 10 dp, it will be occupy four side corners some space. Okay, it will be add some space between the left side, it will be add the some space between the top and right and bottom. Okay, this component will occupy 10 dp space, right? So that's what I need to take the layout margin is 10 dp. In the next thing, in the same way, this text view, uh, design the one more text, edit text. Okay, one more edit text. Open edit text, match parent, and wrap content, internal closing, internal closing. Then this ID for et underscore ID, et underscore ID, and the hint is enter the password. Sorry, enter the ID or roll number. Okay, enter the roll number, and also add the margin is, the layout margin is 10 dp. So till this part, just we done designing the two edit tags. Okay, so then the next thing is I need to take the two buttons, one for save, another for retrieve. Go for add the two buttons here, button class, then width is match parent and height is wrap content. And so the name like a text is save. Okay, and also add the margin is 10 dp. The margin is 10 dp. So it is very beautiful. My screen is like I said, just like a very beautiful. In the next thing, I need to add the one on click event here with the help of so ON on CLI. So this on click method name is show data, or you can do the save data. You can do the save data method. And why it is getting the error? So we didn't created it that this save data method in the main activity. So if you click the alt enter for creating the save data view in main activity, it will be create. So you just click on the alt enter on the save data method. It will be create in the main activity save data method. Similarly, just to go for another button for retrieve. The text is retrieve and method name on click method name also retrieve the data. Retrieve data. You can just call the retrieve data. And also press the alt enter. You can just create a you can just choose the second option, create a retrieve data view in main activity. So both methods will create in the main activity. Okay, so till this part completed, just give me the confirmation whether it is completed or not. Okay, so I think so you completed it. That's what you're not responding, right? So in the next thing is we need to design the recycler view for displaying the data. Okay, so whatever we enter the data, that name and ID, the details will show in recycler view. Okay, right. So for that, I need to go for the design part. Simply, I need to go for in the parity containers recycler view. So go for the design parity containers. If you click the containers, right side corner have their recycler view component. You can just drag and drop this recycler view component into our screen. You can just drag and drop this recycler view component into our screen. Okay, the recycler view component will design like this. Okay, right. I'm I'm coming back to split part. In the split part, it is added the recycler view, and I need to add the margin is 10 dp. Margin is 10 dp, and make the ID. The ID is recycler. The ID is recycler. So this is the design part of our room database. Okay. So have you done this part? Right. So I'll give the step-by-step procedure for the next process. In the GitHub, I gave the step-by-step process. So let's move on the small practical on from database with live data. So this is for with live data. Okay. So without live data, now we are doing. Okay. So but procedure is same. Procedure is same. So for adding the room database dependencies, I take source from Google Code Labs. So this for official website link. You can just click on that. So this is for Java. Previously we seen the uh, this is for this is for Kotlin. Okay. Once we open this link with the help of this, otherwise I will show you this link in a chat box. Right. Okay. So here how the step-by-step process. So what we need to do first step. So we need to open the Anda Studio, click on the project tab and expand the Gradle script folder. Okay. So already we created the project. Now we need to open the Gradle script folder and where we need to click the second file, build.gradle model colon app 11. So this file we need to open. In this file, what we need to do? Okay. So here open the build.gradle file. We done. After following the compile options. So these compile options code we need to add. So where we need to add? So block inside the Android. Okay, the compile blocks inside the Android block we need to add. Inside the Android block we need to add. So why we need to add these? So we need to set the source compatibility to 1.8. Okay, the JDK. So the Java development kit we need to add the 1.8. So manually we are adding here. So without adding these, we can't access this room database. So if we add this, only we will get the room database properly. Okay. So you can add, we can copy this one, compile options code and open the Android Studio. So where we need to add inside the Android block. Okay, inside the Android block. So where we have the inside Android block, here I have the Android block, open black and closing black, open and closing this. Okay. So for Android Studio 4.1 onwards to, it will come automatically. Okay. If you not the these the compile options, you can copy and paste it. You can copy and paste it. Okay. So my Android Studio version is 4.1 above. So if your Android Studio is below 4.1, you need to add manually these compile options. Okay. So this is the first thing. And the next one is, so replace the dependencies block. So these dependencies we need to add. Uh, so this is for root project app compact version with components. I'm copying these things up to room components lifecycle. I don't need to add the UI part. Only these things I need to add. So up to lifecycle components, I don't need to take the any UI part. Okay, these things we need to add. You can just copy these and come to our Anda Studio. So inside the dependencies block, we need to paste it. Okay, inside the dependencies block, we need to paste it. Then after, so go for the next step. In the build Gradle file, like a project, our project name. Okay, in this file, we need to add these extensions. Okay, the ext means extensions. Okay, you can just copy this ext block. Okay, so where we need to add in the project level, we need to add. So open the Ender Studio. So in the project level, where we need to add to end up the file, So in the project level, build Gradle project, our room database, end up the corner, we need to add that. Okay, so then after you just sync your project. So where we have the sync option, in the sync now option is there. In the top right corner have the sync now option. So you just click on the sync now option. So here my Gradle is running. Just wait for that. Yeah, it is successfully configured. Okay, the build is successful. So have you done this configuring? The room database configuration is done. Okay, if you want, I will repeat once again. Just tell me. I think so. You people are done. That's what not responding. Right. So the next thing is, yeah. So up to I followed this document. Then after I'm coming back to our GitHub. So we added these dependencies. Okay, these things. In the next one, so in the activity underscore meta.xml file, we done creation of the 2 edit text and 2 buttons. Okay, and 1 recycler view also we added. Then after, for displaying the data in the recycler view, we need to design the one row underscore design.xml file. Okay, for each row, we need to design the one layout file. So that name called the row underscore design. Okay, so what have in the row underscore design.xml file? Here there are 4 edit text. So one for edit. Okay, one for edit, and second one for displaying the name, third one for displaying the roll number, and the fourth one for so deleting option showing. Okay, so here I displayed two icons, one for edit icon, another for delete icon, and the remaining two are just normal text views. Okay, just normal text views. So this is the which step, the fourth step in our Android Studio. Okay, so just open the our Android Studio and come back to our layout file. In the layout file, right click on the new layout resource file. In this layout resource file name is I am displaying the row underscore design. Row underscore design. I am clicking the OK button, and before clicking this, I need to change this constant layout to linear layout. Okay, you just to change this constant layout to linear layout, then follow the OK button, then click the OK button. It will be initialize the row underscore design.xml file, and here just go for split part, open the split part, and I need to change this layout height to wrap content. I don't need to design the match parent. I changed the just height is wrap content. The next thing I need to add the one, so text view. So this text view for displaying the wrap content, wrap content, it is wrap content. Then the naming text is name, displaying the name. So it is very smaller. That's what I'm increasing the so text size. The text size should be so 40 sp. 40 sp. Okay, and giving an ID this is row underscore name. In the row underscore XML file name, I just identified this name as row underscore name, and same way you can design the one more text view for roll number. This is for row underscore roll number. Okay, row underscore roll number, and so I'm duplicating these two text views. I'm duplicating these two text views. In the first one, I just remove the text. I just remove the text, and I'm changing this ID to this is for edit. This is for edit, and second, I mean last one. I mean in the last one, I'm removing this text to I'm removing this text attribute, and I change this replacing the row number ID means this is for delete. This is for delete. Okay, so finally I took four text views. These four text views, one for edit, second one for roll number displaying, third one for name displaying, fourth one for delete. Okay, so a small changing on linear layout. I'm giving the orientation is horizontal. Okay, I'm giving the orientation is horizontal. The orientation is horizontal. It will it will designed like this. So I need to add some gap between each component. For that, I'm adding the margin. The layout margin is 5 dp. The first component. The second component also layout margin is 5 dp, and third component the text view margin is 5 dp. Same way, last component, last text view margin is 5 dp. Somewhat better for previous one. So it will be come gap of some 5 dp space. Okay, right. So in the next thing, I need to add this background some icon, edit icon. In the same way, last text view background icon is delete icon. So you may just go for drawable folder, new vector asset for adding the icon. Just double tap on clip art here. Click on the clip art. Search that icons. This is inbuilt icons. So Android system, we some inbuilt icons.
Hello, Moto.
Okay, and type here edit, and it will display the edit option. It will display the edit option. Just click on OK button. If you want to change the color, you can. Okay, you can change it. That's up to you. And that is black, blue.
Hello, Moto.
Okay, so here, if you want to choose the any color, you can choose it. So the RGB colors is there. I'm choosing here the blue color, and click on OK and next and finish. Here I see baseline edit 24 icon is created. You can, if you want to see that icon, you can just double tap that. It shows like this. We can change that color also, and height and width also we can change. The coding will be come here. Then in the raw underscore data.xml file, just add the drawable no source src. Okay, background. The background is baseline 24. Okay, baseline 24. You can just click on just this. The background is our icon. In the same way, add the one more icon for delete. New vector asset, and click on this clip art. Then choose the delete icon. Okay, delete. You can just choose that, and the delete icon should be. I'm taking here red color, and click on next and finish. And this icon add in the last text view background. The background should be delete icon. Okay. So this is the row underscore design.xml file designing. So have you done till this part? If you done, just respond the chat box. Tell me if you have any doubts till this part. Good. Right. So the next thing is, so what is the next step? We'll go for create the entity class. Okay. Up to we done designing a row XML file, and next one for we need to go for create the entity class. Now we are entering the main room database components, adding the room database components. So first of all, we need to go for create the one entity class, then add the some POSO classes. Okay, just like this: set number and set name, get number, get name. So we can add this. So go for Under Studio and come up with the Java first package. Open the Java first package. Right click on that, new the Java class. So what is the Java class name? So this Java class name should be entity class. So I'm creating the just student entity. Okay, student entity. So this student entity class, we need to give the annotation is entity. The annotation should be entity. If you give this annotation entity, it will come the dependency from Android library, Android X room database library. Okay. So then after you can just click on, just take the string types. So string type is name, string type is roll number. Okay. So I'm taking two attributes, one for name and another for roll number. Here, so I'm taking here roll number is primary key. The primary key we need to give the with the annotation as primary key, and also give the annotation column info. Column info is name. Within that name, roll number. Within that, we need to give the roll number, and also we will call the non-null attribute. Okay, those three annotations I added here. Then after same in the string name also you can call the column info of name should be name should be name name should be name, and also you can add the non-null. If you want the code proper structure, just go for control A, control alt L. It will come proper alignment. Okay, once more I will repeat to you. If you want to from the code into proper structure, you can select the all, control alt L. Okay, it will come some proper annotation. Now, so you can right click on in this environment, after roll number, you can just give the right click. You can just give the right click. Go for the generate option, or you can directly follow the alt insert shortcut. Okay, alt insert shortcut. Go for the getters and setters. Go for the getters and setters. Control A, which means select all. Okay. So it will be import the get name, set name, get roll number, set roll number. Okay. So one more time, I'm repeating to you. Control Z. Here, after the roll number, just to go for 17th line, right click, generate option, getters and setters, select all, like control A, click on OK. It will be import the this code. Get name, get roll number, set roll number. Okay. So have we done this entity part? Okay. So then after, so we done entity here. Then the next thing is DAO class we need to create. So what the full form of DAO? This is a data access object. Okay. So this is normal. This is not a class. It is an interface. So it is an interface. Why? Because it is a bridge between the two things, two major components, like it is entity and database. It will be interface between the two classes. So the next thing, we need to go for create the one interface, and that interface name should be some name. And come to Android Studio in the Android Java package, first package, go for new Java class. Okay, choose the interface, and the interface name should be student DAO. Click on OK, enter. Click on enter. Then here the annotation is DAO. The annotation should be a DAO. So within this class, we need to call the all operations, like a code operation syntaxes. I'm creating individual functions. So public void. So one for insert. Within that insert function, I'm adding the our entity class. So student entity. The entity is the object. The entity is the object. Same way, duplicate the four things. Second one for insert, update. So delete, and this is for the retrieve. So this should be, I'm taking list format. I'm not taking the wide. I'm taking public list. Within that list, I'm calling the our entity class, student entity class. We need to give the alt enter, import class. So here, I just pass the method name is retrieve. Master method name is retrieve. So this is for insert, this is for update and delete. The last thing retrieve. So but in the room database have their annotations. While inserting time, give the insert annotation. While updating time, give the annotation with the update. While deleting time, give the delete. This is very easy. Okay. Uh, okay. Compared to in the SQLite. For retrieving, we need to add the query. So why we are using query means for retrieving we have difficulties. Like if you want to take the all table columns, all table attributes, we just call the select star from table. Okay. Sorry, we didn't give the table name here in the student entity. I will come back there. Not an issue. So inside this query, we need to call the select star from So where we need to get the table. Okay. So till now we didn't call the table, but the table just like as this entity class like as a table. Inside that we need to call the our table name. That table name should be in this entity class. Just call the open base and table name. The table name should be in the double quotes student table. The table name should be student table. Okay. Now come back to string DO class. Here it will be automatically triggered. I mean, it automatically will come student table. We are selecting the table attributes. Select star from all attributes from the student table. In the student table have there. So what? So just control mouse over. It's not enabling. Open the student entity class. These attributes will be come. So as now we take only two attributes. If you take the 10, 20, 30, 100, all attributes will be displayed like this query. Okay, based on this query. Okay. So have you done this part like adding the DO class and entity class? So entity class is completed and DO class is completed. So this is for just normal DB without live data. Normal DB, normal room DB. So inside that data. Okay. So the next thing, I need to go for add the one database class. Open the document once. In this have there, the next step is student database class dot java file. Okay. So as of now, we don't require this live data. Okay, we'll just create this abstract class. That abstract class name should be extends to room database. Okay, then we'll call the our DO class here. That DO class also we need to initialize the abstract. Okay, and also in the table name and which version we are using, that export schema is enable or disable, that we need to give the information. Open the Under Studio, then right click on the Java first package, go for Java class. So student database. Okay, this student database extends to room database. Okay, so then it will get the error. It will get the error. Just click the Alt Enter. Choose the second option. Make a student database class is abstract. Okay, that student database class is abstract class. Then after, give the annotation as database. Within the database, we need to pass the entities. The entity should be our student entity dot class, comma, version name, version equal to 1. So defaultly it will be 1. So comma, export schema, that export schema should be false. So what is this export schema meaning here? Our database accessing many applications. I mean, one application database will access many applications, like a contact application is there. Contacts will access to some other applications. Same way, our data also need to export or not. That information we need to give. Okay. So if we give the this export schema is true, it will access all applications. If you give the false, won't be access. Okay, that is the meaning of this export schema. So then after, we need to initialize the public abstract student DAO class. The object name is student DAO. So you can just call this one. Okay. So the initialization of this room database we need to give done in we need to do in main activity. Okay. So till this part, the three components is completed. The three components is completed. That is the entity, DAO, and database. Okay. So now open the main activity. In this main activity, you just call the our two edit text. So name and roll number. Okay. You can connect that IDs with the help of the find v by id. In the uncreate method, name equal to find v by id r dot id dot. So et underscore name I gave in the XML file. So give the semicolon in the end corner. Then after roll number, this is for roll number, et underscore roll number. What happened is et underscore id. I supposed to give the et underscore id. Okay. So then after I'm initializing the our student database class. The student database class should be database. The object is database. In the uncreate method, I'm initializing that database equal to um, room dot database builder. Okay. So within the of the context this comma. So room database class name student database dot class. So comma some string name we need to give I'm giving some string name, comma, no. So then after dot build, you can just call the dot build method. It will be build. So if you want to add the allow main thread query, it will run in the background. It will not take a burden on in the main thread main thread. Okay, so it will be allow the main thread queries. Right. So this is the installation of our database. Then come to our save data method. In this save data method, you just call the data from edit text. Okay. So name dot get text to string. After getting this name, you can just store the string. My name is equal to name dot get text to string. Also, you can duplicate that. So my roll number should be from roll number object dot get text to string. Then after you can initialize the student entity class entity. Okay, student entity class entity. Why? Because in the student entity class we need to put the data. So what data we need to put? Open the student entity class. We need to set the data. We need to set the name. We need to set the roll number. Okay, we need to set the roll number. After we'll get the roll number and we'll get the name. So that's what in the student in the main activity we are initializing the student entity class. Here in a save data method, I'm initializing the entity class entity equal to new student entity. Okay, that's it, the initialization. After then, I'm just calling um, entity dot set name. So what is name here? My name. Okay, my name. I just set my name. Set name is my name. Then after entity dot set roll number. The roll number should be my roll number. Okay. Then after you can call our database. You can call our database. So database dot within that have their student DAO class. In the student DAO class dot what we need to function called insert. Okay. In the insert function, within that insert function, I am calling the entity. By this way, we will insert the data. Whatever may be inserting name and roll number, we can insert it. So after insertion, I need to show the message on UI. So what is the message? Save successfully. Okay, which one I saved that name? I need to display here. My name. Okay, and if you want how many, okay, how many um, how many data is there? Okay, how much size? Okay, for that I'm calling just entity dot size. No, it dot length, I think so. No. Okay, you just click on that only. So you can just display the my name. Then retrieving time will out there in the database. Okay, so by this process we'll save the data. Okay, so once run the application, either it is working or not, we need to check that. Okay, so if complete to this part, you will just run the application. So here I executed my application through my physical device. Just a minute, I will show you my screen through the visor. So it is displaying. Just wait for application. The Gradle build is running. It is installing and launch the app. Yeah. So this is our application. So when I click the name, so I'm entering the name and roll number. Okay. So now I'm clicking the save button. So save successfully. Name. I got the toast message. Now I'm inserting the one more record. I. Okay. And the roll number something. So 308. Now I'm clicking the save button. It is inserted. Save successfully Sai. I didn't give the space between the name and this text. Now I need to give the space. Okay. I need to apply the changes. Apply the changes. He's applying some changes. So it is done. Okay. Now I'm inserting one more record like APS SDC and the roll number should be something 233. Okay. Now I'm sitting save button. It is saved successfully APS SDC. Okay. So to this part we done the save part. The insertion part is completed. Okay. So have we done this insertion part? Right. So next I need to display the data on the recycler view. Okay. I need to display the data on recycler view. So we have the roller design XML file and we have the main activity. So now I'm creating the one adapter class. In the Java first right click on that Java class. Within that I'm creating the student adapter. Okay, student adapter. This student adapter class should be extends with recycler view. Already you know very well the recycler view concept. Recycler view dot adapter. Okay, so within the generic type, like less than and greater than symbols. So now within that, I'm passing the class name itself, student adapter class, and dot one view holder. That view holder should be student view holder. Okay, student view holder. Now I'm placing first time in the red mark of student view holder. Alt enter, then create this class in the same in another class. Okay, and alt enter again. Now it's time to take the implement methods. Three implement methods like uncreate view holder method, unbind view holder method, then get item. So you can just click on the OK button. It will be import. Now again getting the error in the student adapter dot student view holder class. So it will just ask the constructor or so which will be extends with the some recycler dot view holder. You can choose that first option. You can choose the first option. It will be extends with the recycler with view holder. Now again place the alt enter. It will be asking the creating matching super constructor. Okay. Now till this part there is no errors. Okay. Now in the top, we need to initialize our list class. So list within that list should be have their student entity. Okay, the student entity class should be Pozo class. Okay, I'm creating just a list of that object, and one more thing, context. The context should be CTX. Okay, so now I'm creating one constructor with the help of right click, generate constructor, and OK button. This is the constructor of these two attributes. So why we are creating constructor? So we need to pass data through the list student entity to this adapter class to main activity. Okay. For that, I'm creating this constructor. Now in the uncreate view holder method, I need to initialize this. I need to inflate this row underscore XML file. So inflate means combining. So new student view holder. So within that pass the so within that pass the what we need to pass here student. So layout inflator dot from. So where from CTX context. So context is the our main activity. So comma no. So here dot inflate. So what we need to inflate r dot layout dot row underscore design dot XML file. Okay. Then parent is we need to call the view group object is parent. The view group object is parent. Now after we need to give the false. Why? Because I don't need to display the root layout. Okay, I don't need to attach the root layout. So this is the inflating of our row underscore design.xml file. For every row, it will displays this row underscore design.xml file. So next one, I will come later this unbind view holder. Then come to get item count. You can return the list dot size. List dot size. Whatever may be have there in the entity class list, it will be return the entire size. Now come to student view holder class. So within that you whatever we have the row underscore design.xml file for text views, you can just call that. So what are the edit TV, another for the delete TV, another for okay name TV, the last one for roll number. TV. Okay, so you can just initialize these IDs here. You can just initialize this here. So edit TV equal to item view. So directly find view by ID not work here. Why? Because we are in separate class. Why? Because we are separate in class. Item view dot find view by ID. R dot ID dot edit. Row underscore edit. In the same way, you can just call the remaining items. So delete TV, row underscore delete. Okay. So name TV, row underscore name. The last one, roll number TV. This is for last one, row underscore roll number. Okay. So you can do a telespot, and the next part will continue on next session. Just let me know if you have any doubt out there in this part. So the data displaying in the recycler view we will discuss on next time. I mean in the next session. Good.